there's nothing wrong with therapy. I look at therapy like how you go to the doctor and get a physical for your physical. Mental therapy is a checkup for your mind. Miami on the Rocks, Casey Chopz. Make sure you follow us on Instagram at MIA on the Rocks. Follow us on YouTube, Miami on the Rocks. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button. Today's guest, Brooke Morrison. How are you?
Good. How you doing?
How you feeling?
I'm good.
I feel like it's been raining like 40 days and 40 nights.
Yeah, which is my thing. I like it a lot.
You came in here like, I love it.
I do. I feel it. I feel calmer. Like I just
serene.
I don't know. I thrive, I think, in cloudy weather. Like actually, like I lived in LA for 3 years, and obviously LA is like sunny 24/7. Like it's just like every single day, except for like maybe a few days out of the year.
Right.
It's sunny. It just is. Like there's no difference. And so I used to get pissed. I used to get upset that it was sunny every day. Yeah.
Damn, see, I'm the opposite. I think I'll go crazy. Like if I lived in New York or somewhere gloomy like that where it's gray.
I don't know. I think I grew up in St. Louis. So that's...
How is it over there?
I mean, 4 seasons. It's normal, I guess you could say. Like it's where you would get everything. So it's kind of like, I don't know. You get like 6 months of winter out of the year. So it kind of, I don't know. I guess I got used to it.
Yeah. So you went from... Because you did radio, correct? That's where, I heard of you. And can you talk about your story? Like so it starts in St. Louis.
Yes. Starts in St. Louis, born and raised. I went to Mizzou, so University of Missouri.
Okay.
And then as soon as I got into Mizzou, I actually entered in as like a clarinet performance major for like 3 weeks.
You play the clarinet?
I did, yes, for like 10 years.
That's dope. I've never met a clarinet player.
We're everywhere, believe me. Like I'm sure you know some of them. They just don't talk about it. Okay. But I played for 10 years. I'm sure if I picked one up today, I could play too. But I realized I hated music theory. Like I love music. Hate music theory. And so that's when I realized like I would follow that dream of, I had always wanted to be an MTV VJ, but like by the time that I was old enough, they had disappeared. They don't exist anymore. TRL had been canceled. Like nobody was doing it. So went to got into the mass comm school, like communication, and studied mass media, and then got a multicultural minor. And I was there for obviously 4 years until 2015. But every summer in college, I had an internship at a radio station somewhere. So like the first 2 summers, it was Clear Channel in St. Louis. So, would live at my parents' house and then just like do radio street team stuff, blah, blah, blah. And then between my junior and senior year of college, I got an internship at Power 106 in LA.
Really?
Yeah. Because my brother already lived out there. So I went and I slept on his couch for 3 months and interned at Power. And then from there, graduated, got a part-time job at iHeart in LA. And I was there for almost 3 years.
So how did you know you wanted to do radio? Was it the LA Power 106 vibe that you were like, wow, this is what I really want to do?
You know what's interesting is like, while that was fun, I was ready for that to be over when it was over. Really? Yes. I mean, I actually I ended that internship myself. I was like, oh, school's starting again. And I was like, okay, I'm going to go back to Mizzou now. And I think I was also just excited to get back and just do my last year of college. But for some reason, I knew Power wasn't for me, but other avenues in radio were.
Why do you say that?
I don't know. It was just a feeling. I've always had gut feelings about things.
Was it LA?
It was, yeah, I loved LA. I loved LA. Everything about it was so cool to me, but it was just, I don't know. They're different. I mean, and it's nothing wrong. It's just there are different vibes and environments at different radio stations. Sometimes you fit, sometimes you don't. Gotcha. But with Power, it's really cool to experience everything and, hang out with the DJs there. And obviously Power is a heritage station in LA. So it's it has a name. People know Power 106 and that's where Big Boys Neighborhood started. Exactly. So I felt that when I was there, I felt like I was a part of something bigger. But I don't know. I just knew whenever I got to iHeart, it was kind of this is dope.
Was Jimmy Steele there at that time you were there?
He was. Oh, okay. Wow. Yeah. He actually turned me down for a job. He said I had no personality.
He told you that?
Yeah.
Holy shit. No, I've had people that I've looked up to my whole life tell me, oh, he's missing something. Oh, and it's I learned that even your idols, not every one of your idols are going to like you. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God, never.
So I don't take it personal. At first it was a stab to the heart, you know, but
yeah.
So,
well, what's funny is that Jimmy told me that one day, and then the next day I had an interview with Doc Winter at Real 92.3 in LA, who is still my mentor. I'm actually using him as a reference for whatever job I get next.
That's awesome.
And then had an interview with John Ivey the same day, who is PD of Kiss FM and like top 40 brand coordinator. And Doc didn't even hire me, even though Doc was like, I would love to hire you. We just don't have anything available. John Ivy was the one who hired me.
Wow.
The day after Jimmy Steele had said that. So you never know.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then Jimmy Steele's not even at Power 106. No. So it's crazy how everyone just plays musical chairs and you don't even know like where you're going to end up.
Yeah.
You know
I mean, definitely, especially with this year. But yeah.
So you go from St. Louis to LA. Then you're in LA for 3 months?
For 3 years after, like, when I had finally gotten, like, 3 months was my internship. And then went back to college, finished college, graduated. Then went back to LA whenever John Ivy hired me. So I was working as like a part-time board op slash, you know, like whatever they call them now.
On Kiss?
Yeah, Kiss FM, Real 92.3, Alt 98.7. When they hire you as a board op, it's for the cluster.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was like just doing whatever they wanted me to do.
Dope. And then how does Miami happen?
So after almost 3 years in LA, being part-time, and kind of like struggling my way through that, you know, sleeping on floors and couches and all kinds of other stuff and being broke, my dream had always been, I wanted to be a full-time personality in LA. But I guess no one at that point had seen anything in me that would, you know, warrant that position, you know, to go to me in any way. So for me, I was like, okay, so what do I have to do now? You know, like, where do I have to go? Send me somewhere, you know, I'm ready. Like, you know, I was 25. I had just turned 25. And they said there was a job opening in Charlotte, North Carolina. Because I had already been on air in like KGGI in Riverside. And I was on air in St. Louis. I was tracking for St. Louis, which is my hometown. And
from LA,
from
the
LA
iHeart station.
And I was producing for Nina Chantel on Real 92.3, so still under Doc and Ao's umbrella. But I knew it wasn't, and none of it was mine. You know what I mean? Like none of it was like my show, my, you know, building my brand or anything. So they were hiring in Charlotte, North Carolina, and John Ivy said it was a good idea for me to take that full-time position. So I went to Charlotte, and I lived in Charlotte for 1.5 years, but was incredibly depressed. The city was not for me, which happens a lot. I mean, they try to send you away to come back, but there's never any promise that they're going to bring you back to that bigger market. So you're kind of like going out on a limb and taking that chance. And I just realized it wasn't worth it to kind of sit in Charlotte like that. And thankfully, right around the time when I was like, you know, I might just go back and live in LA and do something else, this job became available in Miami. And AJ, my boss there, who AJ is amazing. Like, you know, I'm so glad that when I was in Charlotte, I at least had AJ as a boss. He's an amazing PD, and I wish I could still work for him. But he was one who was like, there's a position open in Miami, go apply for it. And I was like, oh, okay. So I ended up getting this job from Charlotte. So, you know, out there for 1.5 years, and I've been here for 1 year and 2 months. And yeah.
How do you feel about it?
Being here?
Yeah. Be honest.
I mean, it's
not as bad as Charlotte.
No, definitely not as bad. I feel like it would have been a different experience if the pandemic hadn't happened, you know, because I never got to really experience the good parts of people living here because like, you know, all this happened right after the Super Bowl and then right before Music Week would have happened. So I never got to experience any of the festivals here. I never got to experience like, you know, Music Week, like all those parties and everything. So I think the best
Miami guys, or you experienced them already?
I mean, like, no.
A lot of ways say it's not for them.
Yeah, no, Miami guys are interesting. I haven't had luck, but I mean, it's not to say that it's not good, because I feel like every city has their thing. And like, you know, there are some people that thrive here and that's dope. But like for me, like it's just, I don't know. I had a lot of fun when I was dating in LA. And it's just a different vibe. And then like I tried to date in Charlotte. That wasn't good for me either. Tried to date here. That hasn't been great. But I don't think it's just because like, oh my God, Miami guys suck. I think it's just everybody has like a different thing. I'm sure I could find somebody if I was here long enough. I've only been here for 1 year. It takes a long time to like settle in.
I would assume the superficiality, is that a word?
Superficiality?
Superficiality, right? Yeah. That like they're similar, right? Miami and LA. Do you kind of feel both of those vibes?
You know what's weird? I feel like this is more superficial with the vibes. Yes, but
that's interesting you say that, because I hear different answers to that question.
Yeah, I think because in LA, like I said, the reason why I love it so much, you know, I'm actually moving back in January. But the reason why like I enjoy dating there is like there are guys who work in many different kinds of backgrounds, and it could be the entertainment industry, but a lot of the time it's something like, you know, real estate where they're selling $1 million homes in the hills somewhere, or it could be, you know, tech, or it could be, you know, they work as a producer on a TV show or something. There's just a lot more different lanes and avenues that you can be a part of in LA, and it takes all walks of life. Like people from everywhere move to LA.
Right.
Everywhere.
Right.
And people that move to Miami are mostly from like New York or other parts of Florida.
Yeah. Or from, South America or the Caribbean.
Right. Right. Which again, is like, it's just different. It's just like a different vibe. It's kind of like what you're used to. Obviously I'm from the Midwest. So like, that's going to be a little bit, you know, there are a lot of people from the Midwest who move to like New York and LA to like follow their dreams and do that. So maybe it's just the fact that like, you know, I'm probably around people.
Shock.
Yeah.
Did that take a while to get used to, or?
I think by the time I moved here, I was over culture shocks.
Yeah.
Like when I first moved to LA, I was like, whoa, everything was new and different. Everything. Like I was freaking out about how different things were. Because I mean, out there, it's, you know, a lot of Mexicans.
Right.
And that was, I mean, it just blew my mind. I was like, this is so different from anything I'm used to. But I learned so much. And honestly, I love Mexicans. I think they're super positive and funny and awesome. And I just love to learn. And like, they would just teach me Spanish. They would like teach me how they do things, take me to Dodger games, like all kinds of other stuff. And that's like the first time I would ever say it was a culture shock, because LA is very like rooted in Mexican history, and it's like a very beautiful thing. Everywhere you look is like some sort of Mexican history. The streets are all, you know, named after some sort of Spanish name. Or it's funny because there's a place called well, I mean, you would say Los Feliz, but white people have turned it into Los Feliz, and I used to get really upset about that because I was like, I know that's not how you say it. But that's the only time that I really felt culture shock. When I moved to Charlotte, I was like, well, this just feels like St. Louis, Missouri, like where I'm from. And then when I moved here, I was like, well, it's kind of more of the same.
I just feel like we need everybody to like just get that culture shock and to mix and experience other cultures. Then we could be empathetic toward each other. You know, like
for sure. And I actually got over that really fast. Growing up, I had exchange students. So we had like 12 exchange students over the span of like 10 years. So I was introduced to different cultures super young. Like we had, you know, an exchange student from Chile. We had like 3 from Germany. We had like 2 from Italy. 1 was French. We just like got really used to it. And then I German danced and was a part of the cultural society in St. Louis.
German dance? What is that?
Everybody has the same reaction.
I have never heard of that in my life.
God, it's hard to explain. So, you know, okay, so there's 2 kinds of German dances. One that's super traditional is called Schuhplattler, which is like the guys
I'm half German and I have no idea what you're...
I'm mostly Polish, which is funny.
I'm half German, half Polish.
Oh, oh, wow.
Yeah. No. Yeah, that's wild.
But no, I don't speak any Polish.
Okay. So have you been to Germany, Poland?
I've been to Germany, never been to Poland. My mom's maiden name is Rozicki. They whitewash that too. So
you have family over there?
Not anymore. I mean, I'm sure like extended family, but like my grandpa was kind of like the last, you know, we still have like, you know, my mom's uncle Leo and stuff like that. And like whoever's left on that extended family side, but we don't have, not that I know of. I know of like my dad's side, you know, we're actually like Jewish, but we've never practiced, but like his extended family practices still. And they're all in like Jersey and Colorado and like all kinds of other stuff. So I know more about that side than I do about my mom's.
Dope.
Yeah.
So, and I see you got a pretty good following on YouTube, right?
Yeah, that's weird. It's been weird. Like it's been great, but weird.
You're ahead of the curve.
I think so.
When did that happen? When did that start for you? Like building your YouTube channel? Did it come? Because a lot of the individual things that I've done, you know, podcast is just one of the many examples. It comes from my frustration of radio.
Yeah.
You know,
and that's, that's funny that you say that. No, literally, it was. Because I had become... I've been having a weird year because so the pandemic hit right around the same time that we found out my mom had terminal cancer. So I moved back to St. Louis for 2 months, and I lived in St. Louis with my brother and my sister. My brother had moved back from LA, and like we all kind of just like sat with her and basically watched her pass away, you know, over the span of 2 months. And during that time, they had allowed me to record my show from St. Louis. So, everybody was home anyway. It was the pandemic, so everything was shut down, and I was like recording from St. Louis, Missouri. But just the way that I feel as if, I don't know. It's because I don't want to like throw anybody out there under the bus or anything, but I just felt as if the support wasn't there in that situation. And it was incredibly disheartening. And I think for the first time, I had just lost all faith in
like the industry.
Yeah. Which is funny because I have some amazing past bosses and mentors, and I absolutely love them. And I love them to this day. Like I said, it's like Doc is still, you know, on my resume as, you know, somebody, what's the word for it? What? Reference.
Right.
Yeah. But sometimes things don't work out the way that you want them to. I've also had some terrible bosses, you know, and I'm not saying the last one that I had was terrible, but I think it was at that time where I was like, bruh, I just watched my mom die. You know, it's a global pandemic. Everything has been canceled. Concerts, festivals, events of any kind have been canceled. No one has any idea what they're doing. I've just witnessed probably 2 or 3 mass layoffs within the company.
Right.
And I was like, what am I doing? I still live in a city that, you know, is not my first choice. And I did that because people keep telling me it's what you need to do in radio. You know, like you go and you sacrifice your personal life, you know, for the greater good of the job and all kinds of other stuff. And I was like, why? You know, like, why can't I live where I want to live?
That's crazy that you say all this because I was forced with that fork in the road. Yeah. As far as speaking on, we know radio is the business that it is, but sometimes I feel like, you know, offer that respect. For example, like I told you, my mom was on the air for 30 years at the same station doing middays. Right. They let her go, but you didn't let her sign off like properly. You didn't let her, you're off the air. Like, where's the respect? Like, let her do it. You know, Hot 97 did with Angie Martinez, give her a day to tell her listeners goodbye and go through memories and do it right. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it's like you said, like heartless. But as far as like me, I had that situation to where I hit a ceiling at Power 96 when I was here, and I could have did the what was the market? I forgot. It would, whether it was move to Vegas or move to Wisconsin or move, and I was like, okay.
But why?
Am I going to do that for 2 years? I know I'm going to lose my mind. I leave from Miami to one of these places. I'm going to lose my mind.
Exactly.
So thank God I learned how to DJ while I was waiting for things to line up for me to get a full-time bag on radio. And when it didn't happen, I was able to just stay in the clubs. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And get money in the clubs that way.
And I mean, that's amazing because you have something that not everybody has. And that includes connections as well, which you can. That's the thing about radio is like at this point, you look at it as a stepping stone to something else that you want to do.
Never make it your main chick in my mind. Always keep it as the side chick. Even if it's paying you main chick money, you can't, in my mind, this is my opinion, you can't treat it like a main chick because they could take it from you.
Oh, any moment. Yes.
And that's one thing I've learned with this is I will never be in a position to allow someone to take something from me. Right. You know what I'm saying? Which is why I bring up your YouTube channel.
Yeah. I know that's what we were talking about in the first place. No, but that was literally where that came from. That same feeling that you talk about. And honestly, the same feeling that a lot of people feel because my closest mentor and friend in the industry, his name is DJ AO. He actually used to be out here.
Shout out to AO. I know AO.
Oh.
I know AO. Yeah, we know each other.
He used to be here and they moved him around too and everything. And then he eventually, you know, ended up in LA and he's been the one who's told me this entire time. And also DJ Damage. They both told me this because also Damage lost his job at Real 92.3 2 years ago, you know, but very talented dude. Again, it's like they would tell me you never want to be the person who pops off at 24 and then by the time they're 30, you don't have anything. Right. Because someone took your job. Right. You always want to be a person that's growing consistently, moving up in the world and getting better and better and better. So what can you do with that tool that you've been given with radio? What can you do to branch out and do the things that you actually want to do? Right. So that's how
independently for you.
Right. Right. And that's how I was starting to, I think I finally, for a long time, I was like, no, you know, I was like, you know, iHeart's cool, you know, like, and it still is. Again, it's like, I don't know where things are going to be in the next like 5 years, but you know, it was always a dream of mine to be a full-time personality within the company. And I did it, you know, and I did a jingle ball. Like I'm still sad I won't get to do like a, you know, one of the festivals or anything like that, but who's to say when that's going to come back anyway. Yeah, right. But, you know, I realized I love music so much. I don't want to be told anymore what I can be passionate about and what music I can play.
It's a big part of it.
Yeah. So, because obviously, it's a K-pop reaction channel as of now, you know, my YouTube stuff. And
can you explain that and break that down to people who don't, because you're kind of, what is K-pop exactly?
K-pop is what they consider to be the South Korean music industry.
Okay.
In general. But a lot of it, K-pop is kind of, it's kind of like a niche market. So there, obviously there's all Korean artists ever, which aren't all K-pop, but what's making its way over to the US and what's been, making them millions and billions of dollars is what they consider to be K-pop. And BTS falls under that umbrella, which is the biggest group in the world right now, but they've kind of transcended it a little bit. So there's other groups, Blackpink, they performed at Coachella. It's basically Korean music groups, and usually they'll make pop music.
I was going to say, sonically, how does it sound? Is it just like
everything.
Electro? Is it like...
No, it's so there's like, but I see that's, I'm going to get happy telling you.
Yeah, you're hyped.
I know,
like, put me on, please put me on.
No, so BTS is its own group, but it took them so long to become popular because they were like from a smaller company, but they make all kinds of different music. They actually started as a hip hop group and like a rap group. And then from there, just kind of like went into different lanes. So they have their albums, which they have a ton, covers every single genre of music, and every single member of BTS kind of has their own sound and their own voice. So they'll put out like solo singles.
And they're singing in Korean?
They're singing, well, yeah, mostly Korean. Some of it can be in English, but I mean, if you don't understand anything in Spanish and you're still listening to Bad Bunny, like there's the different, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's like
transcends language too.
Of course, music does. But I mean, they have brought so much money into the South Korean economy.
Wow.
Simply for existing that, like,
that group or the genre you're saying?
The group.
Oh.
BTS itself.
What makes it K-pop though? Like what?
I mean, but basically the fact that they're Korean.
Okay. Just pop sonic sounding music that's from Korea, basically.
Basically, yes. Okay. But at the same time, like I said, BTS is the only group that's kind of transcended that. But for the most part, other groups are still under that like K-pop situation.
So what got you?
Also rappers and stuff.
What got you into that? Like wanting to make a YouTube channel?
So I discovered K-pop when I was in high school, like 2009, I think. I discovered Girls' Generation, which is known in Korea as SNSD. And that's a group of like, I think it was like 8 or 9 girls or something. And back then I was like, what the hell is this? It was like super weird and different, obviously, and kind of forgot about K-pop for a really long time. And then got back into it because my sister was into it. So she had been telling me about it for like 6 months at the time. And I was like, oh my God, shut up. Like this, stop. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. And finally, I just kind of like discovered it on my own. It was right after my mom had passed away. And it was kind of like you just sit around doing nothing all day. And I'm like broadcasting from home. And I was like, what the hell am I doing with my life and my time? And like, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, I started to actually give it a shot and look into it. And I literally fell down this rabbit hole of just like, this is the dopest thing I've ever seen in my life. It's the colors, the dancing, it's just the pure talent. Like I said, it's like, I'm a huge music nerd. So
the visuals go heavy with the...
Bro.
Okay.
Don't even get me... Their visuals for their artists are much better than we have here in the States.
Oh, I believe it.
I'm telling you right now. It's amazing.
I believe
it. It's so good. But and they have like billions of views on YouTube.
Wow.
Like seriously, I'm sorry. I'm going to get like really excited.
No, you're good. But, I see it. I see the passion.
I know. But so basically, I knew that reaction videos for all artists had existed on YouTube. It's something you watch sometimes if you like, oh, wow, that Ariana Grande video was really good. Oh, wait, there's a guy who reacted to it. Let me go watch him react to it and see what he thought. So for me, I was like, okay, I need to tell other people about this. I need to talk to people about K-pop. I can't not say anything. Like it got to a point where I was like, every conversation I was having was like, do you guys know who BTS is? I was like, hey, do you know?
But you're kind of like you're the bridge because you're an American girl. So it's like, are there people that are in your niche as well from here?
Yeah. The Raquel, the girl that I do it with, she actually saw one of my, because I was doing them solo for a while until she saw them and she was like, oh my God, I love K-pop too. Can we do this together? And so we started doing them together. And then all of a sudden we get like 200,000 views on a video, 150,000 views on a video. Was that the
first one? Like 200,000? Like how long did it, how many videos did you put for the one to pop?
Like 4.
Okay.
But it just has to be the right timing. I mean, there's definitely a formula to it. I mean, a lot of the time we know that the videos that we put out aren't going to break 20,000, which is fine. Most of them get at least 1,000. I don't, the majority of them will get at least 10. I think there's like 3 that have like maybe 5 or something like that.
But as long as you're accumulating those views and that watch time, no matter how many videos you put out, right?
I know. Well, because as of right now we have 3.3 million minutes of watch time.
Wow. That's awesome.
So it's cool. And
you've got some checks from YouTube then?
No, because reaction, it's all copyrighted. We don't make any money.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, no.
So do you see yourself like transitioning into like original content or?
Yeah, I mean, we've definitely talked about it lately, especially since now both of us are unemployed, because we were both working in radio. She was working at Revolution and I was at Y100. And, both of us lost it during the pandemic. Me just recently, and then her back in April. So she's been unemployed, for as many radio personalities are, and have been. Right. So now that we are, it kind of gives us more time to focus on it. It gives us better, we can get better with the editing. We can do more things that we wouldn't be able to do in the past. So yeah, I mean, we've definitely been talking about it.
Right. I think YouTube it's going to make it's always been there, right? There's always been YouTubers, but right now there's like a rebirth because cable TV is going to be finished soon. Terrestrial radio is going to be finished soon. Everybody wants something on demand, right? So people are creating their own little boutique networks and stuff now. So YouTube is like having your own channel now, your own TV channel, literally. So
it really is. And I'm surprised that people that they even like watching us. Cause I think, like I said, we just put it out because we just wanted to talk about it because with terrestrial radio, I mean, there's no way. I mean, the radio ignores K-pop for
I was gonna ask you. None of those songs have crossed over to like the Billboard.
Dynamite by BTS, but it was their only fully English song they've ever dropped, and so that's kind of the only reason why it was pushed by labels and everything like that, and why they actually agreed to finally play BTS is because it was all in English. But it's frustrating. Because I know how it works. You know what I mean? Like, I know they're not going to play a fully Korean song. Like, I'm not fighting that, like I'm not going to sit there and be like, how dare you not play Korean music on radio. But I do think we are missing out.
Didn't they play Gangnam Style?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That was straight Korean.
They was. But I think it was
that more K-pop considered?
For sure. Psy. Yeah. Psy is like, Psy is like a major deal for Korea. But
still?
Well, I mean,
I wonder. I don't know.
He's kind of like, every kid who wants to be a K-pop idol knows exactly who he is and looks up to him as like somebody who, oh my God, he crossed over to America and he got this big song over there. Because South Korea is a small country and nobody besides Psy or BTS has been able to cross over into the American industry. So like everybody knows who Psy is and everybody wants to eventually make a song the way that he did to get that fame around the world. It's
interesting how times change because, we used to have these fights, with Spanish music.
Yeah.
And now Spanish music is making its way it has made its way already to the general market, to top 40 Billboard. And before, the stations would make edits and like, all right, we're only going to put the first verse in Spanish. Then we're going to, when Justin Bieber dropped Despacito, it was like, oh my God, now we can actually play, you know what I mean?
And it's crazy how not very long ago that was.
Exactly. So give it 2 more years and there's going to be full Spanish songs on top 40 English stations.
And there should be already with Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny is one of the biggest artists in the world right now.
The new song that Bad Bunny just dropped is #1 on the Spotify American charts.
Right. Oh, of course.
So it hasn't made Billboard #1, but it's made the Spotify charts already. So.
I think, but again, it's like, I am not fully into the business side of radio. I'm definitely in radio for the side of the music and, talking to listeners and talking to fandoms and things like that. That's mine. So I'm not going to sit here and say I know exactly the right way to move forward in this kind of industry. But at the same time, I do think that radio is missing out on being ahead of the curve.
I was going to say, that's the one thing I do know is that radio is just late to everything. Before radio used to be the leaders.
Radio is reactive. Modern radio is and to an extent it always has been, because you could have always played a new song in drive time radio or whatever, but you would still have to test it. And if it didn't test well, then it would never be played again. Right. So there's still, to an extent, like I said, it's like, I get it, but
when PPM dropped, that's when all that testing shit started. You know what I mean? But before that,
I know. I've heard stories for sure, especially back in LA radio. I've heard like horrible stories too.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, well, strippers and, coke in the studio and things like that. But like old school radio.
The days.
Right. And then of course everything's different now and FCC regulations and blah, blah, blah. So yeah, but it's just things that I can't fight.
Right.
So am I upset that I'm not really a part of it anymore? No. I just hope there's something out there where I can like literally get my hands in there, where when it comes to world music and kind of be like ahead of that curve. I want to I want to do that. I don't really know. I'm excited about like new opportunities, but
do you see yourself going back to radio? Is that the goal?
I don't know, honestly.
Yeah.
At this point. Because like I said, it's like, maybe I'll feel differently in a year, but I think I have lost that spark. Like I've lost a little bit of that passion, especially after a year like the one that's just happened. And I think, I don't know, because even in the past week, it's literally been a week since they let me go from Y, and
I had no idea.
I know. Well, that's the thing. It's like I'm trying to. Well, like everybody on Facebook, everybody on Twitter, I've pretty much announced it, but like, still kind of just thinking about how I feel about everything before I say things, because a lot of people burn bridges when they get let go from a company, and I never want to do that, you know. But I think with I don't know, like I've already been offered jobs in Phoenix, San Diego, Ohio, somewhere. There was like Lincoln, Nebraska, Waterloo, Illinois, West Palm Beach, you know, and I've turned them all down. So I don't know if I will want to say yes again anytime soon, unless it was a full-time position in LA, and I don't think that's going to be available. You want to be in a big city. You want to be in. I not even any big city. I want to be in Los Angeles, California.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
And I don't think I should have to wait for that any longer. I think a lot of the time we are told in this industry that we're entitled just for having goals of our own or dreams of our own, or like, you know, wanting to build a life somewhere specific. And that's problematic for a lot of us, because then we get shoved around and then we're told we're not good enough, and we're told that we don't matter and that we don't have value.
Exactly.
And I don't agree.
Just sometimes just let the wind blow you different places and see, you know what I mean? I have a friend that was a board op on Power with me, and they never let him on the air. And he's like, just moved to LA with nothing and figured it out. And now he's doing his own thing, making his own living, and he's doing well for himself, you know?
There's a lot of opportunity out there. I think people think that, like, you know, you shouldn't move to LA unless you already have a job lined up or something like that, which I mean, people from LA will always say, stop coming out here and, like, you know, being broke and shit. But in my experience, I moved out there broke, and I was able to meet a crap ton of people and find a bunch of different opportunities that were, of course, different and weird and everything. It wasn't like a straight, oh my God, now I'm on Kiss FM in LA.
Right.
But I think, obviously, moving back there now, I feel like I'm winning already, because I feel like I have this massive group of people that I know and, you know, who are in the industry, who I'll be able to get advice from and maybe even get a job from at some point. So I feel like I'm, you know, ahead of the curve.
The industry is... There's so many things over there. That's the thing about Miami. Much. There's not a lot of... But one thing about Miami right now is that we can all agree that the music industry is in LA. Yes. But for the Latin music industry, Miami is the LA.
Which is great.
Exactly. Yeah. Which is so, you know, there's so many... I see, you know... I'm starting to see potential in Miami. I'm starting to see things blossom, and labels are, Sony's over here, and there's things that are, you know, opening and blossoming in LA in regards to the Latin market. So that's exciting, you know, and then you see Latin music is starting to spread and take over the general market, and you see the demographics of the United States actually shifting. I think, you know, Latinos make up 40%, almost 50, it's going to be 50% soon. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean?
It's massive. And that, I mean, but again, it's like, I am white. You know, so that doesn't work for me in any way, but you have to know, you know, where your lane is. And for me, like, I know that my lane isn't in Miami, you know? So like, it's always that. It's always like, you know, I want to go where I'm celebrated.
Right. I feel you.
Yeah.
It's funny you say that, because I'm white.
Yeah.
But I'm married to my city. I grew up here, so I speak Spanish, and I do, you know what I mean?
Right. So, but that's epic, right?
Right. So I was just like...
I'm from fucking Missouri, bro.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
But yeah, I think about going to more of like an American market sometimes, if it would behoove me to do that, you know? But I don't know. I think about it.
I could see you. Yeah, I could see you killing it in LA, honestly. Yeah, you got that kind of... But it's all about like where you want to go and what you want to do. And if you love here and you're born and raised here, why would you go anywhere else? I get it. Because like if I was born and raised in LA, I wouldn't leave. If I was born and raised in New York, probably wouldn't leave there. Same thing with Atlanta. You know, probably wouldn't leave Atlanta. Yeah. But I was not lucky enough to have been born in a massive city with any kind of, you know, cultural significance.
No, but I think that's good. Because you're not married to where you live.
No.
You know what I mean? You're open to...
Yeah. I think I'm done moving already, though.
Yeah. I feel you on that.
Yeah. I'm 27, and I just feel like I've spent my life moving. I'm tired.
So did you end up going to any clubs here?
No. Literally never.
Really? When did you move here?
September.
Oh, and you didn't get a chance to see Liv or none of those places?
Nope. None at all. Because I thought it was all coming in the summer. I thought it was all coming when out, like everybody was here and the events were happening and I was going to get in with AO or something like that.
Wow. That would have been incredible.
I know. But again, it's like,
so you can't, so yeah, you can't, I feel like you can't make the assessment of Miami because the nightlife is such a big part of Miami, you know?
It is, but you know what's funny is I'm not that into nightlife.
Okay, dope.
Like I don't drink or anything like that. So it's like, to me, you know, I've just been kind of living my life the way I probably would have anyway, you know, while everybody else was at the clubs. But it would have been nice to have been in those situations, like whenever Doc and AO and everybody would come here for like their urban summit and things like that. That would have been fun. You know, there's a lot of things that I feel like I was looking forward to that just literally didn't happen. Yeah. And then, like the rest of the year just kept getting worse. So I just think it's like a everything's meant to happen. Everything's meant to be, you know, fate is a real thing to me. So I just think this is how things were supposed to go. Yeah. So I'm not too hurt by like missing out on like, you know, Live and Story and all kinds of other stuff, you know? Yeah. Cause I've been to clubs in LA, you know, like a lot of them. I know it's not the same kind of situation, but
yeah, we're in a damn. And they're on crazy lockdown in LA. It's way worse than over here.
Well, that's what's funny. To me, it's not worse. I actually think we should have been locked down here much longer than we were. But I mean, like, don't ask me about that because then we can get political. No,
Florida, we're wilding. Oh, no. It's clear. Florida, we're wilding.
Yeah, people ask me all the time about it. They're like, what are you guys doing? And I was like, I don't know. I don't live here. It's fine.
but I don't. But no, you know what it is? I don't like to claim Miami as Florida either. You know what I mean? I don't. Yeah, Miami and Broward are not part of Florida to me. Like, Florida's crazy, but I don't know. That's just my opinion. But in LA, what is it? In LA, the governor said take when you're at a restaurant, put your mask on in between bites.
Yeah, I mean, but I know they're not doing that, by the way. My brother is a bartender in Santa Monica, and they're even kind of scared that it's going to happen again. They're going to close again because it's going to get colder, and like you can only eat outside right now, and so now they're worried that like no one's going to eat outside because it's cold.
Exactly. And and it's crazy. I just saw a meme. I don't know if you saw this, but it was like, you know how people are building like their own little patios outside of their restaurants so people can eat outside, but now it's getting cold. So I'm seeing pictures in New York of the patio places that they built. Now they're putting roofs and walls and making it inside.
Like a tent.
Right. Yeah. So it's like you can only eat outside, but now they're making outside inside. Yeah. So is it even really outside anymore?
No, you know, it's not. Believe me, don't ask me any questions. I think if this would have been handled the right way from the beginning, we wouldn't still be having to do all this stuff. But again, out of my hands, nothing I can do about it. Yeah. No politics. Talking about politics here in Florida has been
draining.
It's been a mind fuck. That's one of the reasons why it's so hard to date here as well. Like I literally was on a date last week, and for some reason he just wouldn't let me leave until he asked me more questions about Trump. And I was like,
I feel like politics is such a terrible subject to bring up on a first date.
But that's why I was confused. And then like we had already talked about it through dinner. Then we had like gone and walked somewhere. Then we came back and then he was like, oh, before you go, let me ask you that. And it was like a hypothetical question about Trump and Biden. And then after 5 more minutes of me trying to say like, I still don't agree with you. Like that's dope, but like I still don't agree with you. I had to tell him like, listen,
hey, yo, my guy.
I was like, I'm not going to agree with you. So like, if you need that, I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you, but like, have a good night. Yeah. Good luck with everything. And then I got in the car and I left because
you know what it is that we're so split here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're so.
He obviously needed me to. It's not. Yeah. I mean, like you just know, like you know, if you're not going to agree or get along, it's like just let it go and then walk away.
And then there's people who are like too into it. You know what I mean? There's people who feel like they gotta feel like they're a part of a group or something, and they feel like they're a part of something. I know. You know, like. But I say all that to say that you need both. Right. You need like dynamic opposition.
It's always yin and yang. Right. And I feel like a lot of people miss that. And the problem with, us here is that we are very self-centric people. I mean, it's human nature to be, you have a self-serving bias anyway, but Americans are notorious for only caring about ourselves and the people that are directly affected by what we do. And that's it. Facts. Like, and we don't care about anybody else.
Social media amplifies that too.
Yeah, of course. I think social media is like the worst thing to ever happen, but
I agree.
Like, I don't even I realize that too. I'm actually kind of happy I don't have to do it right now. Yeah. In radio, you have to do it.
I always say, like, if I wasn't in the industry, I wouldn't have Instagram.
Yeah. Instagram is like, I don't know.
You know what I hope we develop? I hope we develop like a social media Sabbath. Like every Sunday or every Monday or one day a week, no one goes on social media.
It's not going to happen.
It's going to get worse. Like, I feel like it's going to be up to our generation to kind of like guide the young generation who were born into an iPad, like through like the anxiety and the mental health that comes with, like.
I don't. Yeah, I mean, I'm happy that I had a childhood without it, and it makes me very sad to know that kids these days will never have that. And I don't even know like how to. I try not to think about it because again, it makes me so sad, and like I wish that it didn't exist. Like I got a notification on my phone is like last week you spent 11 hours a day on your phone. But the reason why, again, it's that was me. I know, right? But it's like now
I'll give you props for like divulging your screen time. I feel like that's like asking someone their political party. Like,
no, I mean, no, but I mean, it's because again, it's like we're all trying to like make it sound like none of us spend any time on our phone, and we're all spending our entire lives on our phone.
And we all know it's like an embarrassing amount of time on our phone. It is
embarrassing, yeah. But I mean, for me, like I had just lost my job, which again, it's like I'm actually not that upset about, but it, like you have nothing to do all day. So where do you go and what do you do? And a lot of people are dealing with that right now because so many people are unemployed. So I don't even feel bad about it.
Yeah, it's like a digital pacifier,
Of course.
It's like, I think moderation is the key to everything.
It is, but it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard, especially right now, because that's where people are going for entertainment. There's like no other form of entertainment.
Yeah, right. You can't go out. You can't do anything.
No.
I'm hyped. The new PlayStation comes out in like 2 days. So I think they're going to... there's a filter on Instagram. I don't know if you saw it. That there's a filter on Instagram that you aim it and it will show the PlayStation 5, like if you got it. So my sister's like...
Are you kidding?
My sister took a picture like on her dresser with the filter of the PlayStation. She's like, look what I got for you. And I was like, oh shit, it's lit. And she's like, haha, it's a filter. I don't know.
Oh my God.
I'm like, damn.
Your sister's mean.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's pretty. What's your sign?
Capricorn.
Oh, okay.
Why?
Okay. I don't know.
What's yours? He said, I don't know.
Scorpio.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, me either. I'm not too into astrology. I just like, there's certain signs I know to like watch out for me. Like Aquarius, like I can't.
Oh yeah, that's right after me. Capricorns are known for being dicks.
I've had my last 3 girlfriends have been Aquarius. I don't know what it is about God sending me Aquarii. That might be the plural. But anyway. I
mean, maybe that's what you're drawn to. Why would that be a bad thing? Are they all like because bad? They ended up being bad people?
It just hasn't ended up like not working out.
I don't know.
They're too adventurous for me.
Too adventurous.
They're too. They want to go on an adventure every single day. I don't know. Just a woman, like.
Oh, interesting.
They've called me boring. And I don't think I'm boring.
Yeah,
but I just think I'm more.
I definitely know I'm boring. I'm okay with it though. Like that's what I mean is like unless I'm like going to work at a festival, concert, event, like unless it's something like that where I feel like I'm benefiting from it in some way, I'm not going. I'm not spending money on it. I'm not doing it.
Do you feel like people like us who are that do what we do as far as in the industry and we have to use our personality? Would you consider yourself an introvert or an extrovert?
Introvert.
When you're not working, right? Because we're paid to be extroverts.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say. There are a lot of very talented, introverted media personalities and artists.
Really, but I feel like
1,000%.
While you're working, you have to turn it on. You have to be extroverted.
Here's the thing. Think about people like John Mayer and Charlie Puth and things like that, right? Incredibly talented, almost genius level artists. Like not only are they smart in everything else, but also they could pull a song out of their ass in 5 minutes and all of a sudden it makes it number 1. Right. And then you have John who is just like, he shreds on the guitar and everything. Like anything that you put in front of them, they're going to master. They're type A introverted personalities, but you get them on stage and they perform in front of millions of people and all of a sudden they're these just geniuses that like creative juice is just flowing out of them. But that's what I'm saying is like the majority of people who entertain are not entertaining because we need attention. Like a lot of us are in the industry because we're trying to prove something to ourselves. We're trying to prove to other people that we're worth it, but mostly because when we were kids and shit like that, we were the kids reading in the corner or doing some weird shit or playing with rocks or like, maybe not that cute or something like that. Same with Ryan Seacrest. Ryan was like, a bigger kid and things like that. So we're all trying to prove to ourselves that we're worthy in some way, but most of us are going to be introverts.
So you consider yourself one of those type A introverted personalities?
Yeah.
Do you deal with any like mental health? Like, do you deal with anxiety? Me too.
Yep. Anxiety and depression.
Yeah.
And I'm on medication for it, which I have no problem talking about because I think the majority of people do deal with, especially right now. I mean, depression is normal. Right. Like it's normal. It's
part of life, I think.
Yeah.
You just need to know the tools so you don't tip over the edge.
Well, exactly. A lot of people who were like serial killers are just people that needed help.
Right.
And I'll stand by that until the day I die. You know what I mean? It's like a lot of people who are assholes, a lot of people who like to punch on other people, you know, people who have problems like that, or people who just don't know how to work through their feelings or told them they're not allowed to.
I tell people this all the time. If you get, you know, cut off or you get triggered and you get angry, like think about what that person is going through, why they did what they did.
Right.
And it like relieves that visceral feeling that you have or that anger that you have for somebody, you know?
Of course. I think everybody has should take responsibility and go get help if they need it. You know, you know, you being a dick is not my problem.
There's nothing wrong with therapy. I look at therapy like how you go to the doctor and get a physical for your physical. Mental therapy is a checkup for your mind.
Right.
Like you should be, you know, in my opinion. And you know, I've said this too, like, this is just a theory that I have, but like, you know, me being a DJ, you know, I've DJ'd on in arenas, I've DJ'd in clubs where it's 1,000 people screaming to what you're saying. I feel like my highs are so high that it's just, you know, physics that my lows are going to be super low. You know what I mean?
Yeah. AO told me that too, especially when I was living in Charlotte, because I was freaking depressed. I had never been that depressed in my life. I was just like, why am I waking up every day? There's nothing here. I don't relate to anyone here. This doesn't make any sense. I just moved from LA, working in market number 2 with Real 92.3 and you know, being around rappers and celebrities every single day, going to Charlotte, North Carolina. And I was like, what the fuck did I just do? And he was like, that's what this is. Super high highs and really low lows.
Right.
And people, if you work in the industry, that's all this career is going to be. You're going to have that day where you're on stage in front of thousands of people, you know, introducing Fetty Wap. And then you have the day where you're at home watching Netflix because you're single and you don't have anyone to talk to.
Right.
And that's your life.
Right. And I feel like that's why a lot of people that have, you know, these type A personalities, they get addicted to things like drugs and things because they're chasing that high.
Right.
Whether, you know, you think about, obviously, I pale in comparison to someone obviously like Justin. Think of people like Justin Bieber it's like almost like a godlike complex. You're in arenas with that, and then getting off that stage to get that high again, you're chasing that high. And a lot of people can't. They have to get that through medication and through other things, you know. And
I know
it's
really, and it's like, I'm going to bring up K-pop again, but BTS is actually they were about to go on a world tour. But literally right before all this happened, they were about to go on a world tour. And somebody in the group has even said, you know, I want to get back out there because I feel like now I'm just aging, you know, I feel like we're all just running out of time. You know, I think he just turned 25 and he already thinks himself as being old, which we all do. Once after we hit 21, we're like, oh my God, we're fucking old, which is not true. But, you know, I think a lot of us also run into that. It's like, we need it now. We need to, you know, we can't, if we wait on something, it's just going to get farther and farther away from us. We have to just kind of get everything all at once. And that is a struggle that a lot of us have in this career. But I feel like we're all chasing that during a time when we literally can't get it. We just literally, nobody can go on tour, nobody can go to a show, nobody can do anything. Where do we go and what do we do? Yeah. So a lot of us are struggling with it on multiple levels and always will be, honestly, you know, until the day we die.
What do you tell people, you know, that are dealing with depression, or what tools have you, you know, what kind of toolkit have you cultivated to kind of get you through certain depressive episodes or anxiety? What would you say to someone going through that?
I would say having great people around you is first, but I will also say that you can't rely on others to make you feel better. So while a solid support system is important, it's not going to be everything, nor should it be everything. Therapy, definitely. I mean, and I'm talking about even if you think because I know a lot of cultures still think that therapy is for crazies. And I'm telling you right now, you will be better off, your family will be better off and everything if you just go seek professional help. And that's not a bad thing. If anything, I have had the best conversations of my life with therapists. And I still talk to one. And obviously, you know, during my mom passing away, it was grief therapy for a long time. And I don't know how I would have been able to get through that without it. But now it's, you know, somebody who I found through that grief therapy, somebody who I'm going to keep around forever. And it's literally through something called the BetterHelp app. So it's on my phone. And since I move around the country so much, it's been hard to hold on to a therapist in every new city that I go to, especially without insurance. And BetterHelp is one of those things where I can literally pull my phone out and FaceTime my therapist.
I was going to ask you, does therapy still feel like therapy when it's over the phone?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because you're still having conversation. I mean, it's up to you. You can, because I can text her whenever I want to. She'll respond at like 9 p.m. You know what I mean? I'll be like, oh my God, I'm not feeling great. And she'll be like, well, what's up? You know, something like that. But again, it's like, you're not going to always find a therapist that's down for something like that. I was lucky. But you know, you can do phone calls, you can do FaceTiming, you can do texting. It's up to you and what you feel comfortable with. But during a global pandemic, you know, and probably somebody who might be a little bit scared of meeting somebody random, you know, it's something that I think has been incredibly helpful, and I think can help a lot of people who are new to therapy. And I highly recommend a lot of people check it out and see what it's about.
So what's the app called again for the people?
BetterHelp.
BetterHelp.
Yeah. Okay.
Search that in your app. You're in the app. The one thing I could recommend, if I had to just recommend one thing to people going through this, and it literally keeps me sane, is exercise. That's the one thing that if I had to recommend anything to anyone, it's sweat every day. Find a way to sweat every day and get that out, because basically, you know, anxiety is just built up energy. Anxiety is built up misplaced energy that you don't know where to place it. So you have to, you know, whether we don't have a job right now and we can't place it in our career, you have to place it and exert it somewhere. So I would just recommend to people, sweat every day, whether you just do jumping jacks in your house, squats, or you go to the gym, or you go for a run, you go hop on a bike, whatever you have to do, just sweat and release that energy. And you know, that'll help subside the anxiety, in my opinion. You know what else works for me that like my therapist like kind of gave me the okay with? Because like a lot of us feel horrible spending money every day, and you just literally picked it up. I buy a coffee every day. Every morning, it's how I start my day. And it's always how, like for the past year, it's how I've started my day. And it's given me a sense of normalcy, especially after, you know, mom passing away. It was one of those things where it's like, if it's not hurting anyone and you're not literally, you know, gambling your life savings away or anything like that. If you have something every single day, like buying yourself a coffee that keeps you grounded. You're saying something as far as like a routine? Yeah, a routine. But again, it's like, it's just a small form of treating yourself. And it's not anything like, you know, again, it's like, it's not like you're going out and like spending $500 on a jacket every single day, but it's literally, you know, for me, you know, $4 a day. And it's something that keeps me sane. It's something that keeps me grounded. It's something that keeps me feeling like I'm doing something. Yeah. And it's just, it makes me feel as if I've started my day the right way. So she's even said, you know, like, I know you're spending money. And a lot of people are going to say, well, look at these fucking millennials who are spending money on avocado toast and their lattes every single day. But there's literally nothing wrong with it. So if you have something that's the same way, if you like to get a bagel or something, or if you like your coffee, you want to buy a coffee machine, make it at home, but you use it like a fancy vanilla extract. I don't know. If you have something where it's like little treat yourself, like, I don't know if I deserve this, but you do deserve it. You should be able to spend your money on the things that you want to spend your money on because you worked for that. Facts. And that has helped me every single day, because I used to feel really bad about money. Like I used to feel really... Like even spending something small like $3. Yeah, because I was broke for so long. Oh yeah, so you know what it's like, both sides of the coin. Definitely. I used to feel bad about going to Taco Bell. Like, and Taco Bell's cheap as fuck. Yeah. So like I have had to work past that too. Like, and it's something, it's actually been very therapeutic for me to be able to say, you know what? I work my ass off for this $4 cheesy latte. Gordita crunch. Yeah. But to me, it's like, that works for me and it might work for you too. So maybe That's like dope. Give it a shot, but you know, it could be something else like working out. Have you ever tried meditation? I have, but have not been able to master it, nor do I really want to. I don't know. It's never really been something to me that has been like necessary or like that I wanted to master. But I know it works for a lot of people. Yeah, that's another. If I had to think of number 2, it would be at least just 5-10 minutes of meditation. Yeah, it helps you. You know, like for me, you know, getting, you know, I'll have problems like ruminating on thoughts. Right, it's hard for me to let go of thoughts. Right. So what meditation does is when you meditate and you just focus on one thing, whether it's your breath, your mind is going to wander in all those different places, which it's fine. It's supposed to. But when you notice that your mind has wandered and you bring it back to your breath, that's the mental bicep curl for your mind. So it teaches you to when you're ruminating on something, catch it, I'm ruminating, and bring yourself back to, you know what I mean? Yeah. So that's one thing that's definitely helped me. Yeah. I got Brooke Morrison here. Please tell people where they can follow you, your social media. Instagram at I am Brooke Morrison, and then Twitter is on Air Brooke. Okay. Tell us. So what's with the K-pop game? Like, who do we got to search for? You said give us like the top 3 things to search for K-pop. Because I've heard K-pop for so long.
Yeah, man.
And I never knew what it was.
Because it's coming for us. So K-pop, okay, so it depends on what you're interested in. K-pop also has rap too. But I mean, it's just rap in Korean. You know what I mean? A bunch of epic stuff. If you like to watch reaction videos, you could start there. Because watching other people react to music kind of like gives you a reason to become invested in it. I think that's dope. And that's what I mean is like whenever I would see reaction videos, I'd be like, wow, so there's something about this that's catching people's attention.
Damn,
Why?
I don't know if I want to do that though. I don't know.
You don't have to do it.
I don't know if I want to have someone interpret the art for me before I can interpret it.
I get you. I get you. Hold on. You can also look at, these are just like ways to get into it. If you're still like, what the fuck? Or if you've seen a video and you're like, I still don't get it. You could watch dance practices. All these groups do dance practices. They're all flawless dancers, and the intricacies of them dancing to their own music is fucking dope. I'm just saying it's amazing. There's that. But I mean, you could also just start with a playlist. Like Spotify has playlists for K-pop. I mean, you know, Apple, Pandora, things like that. They all have K-pop playlists, which I listen to them every single day because music comes out constantly. It's always evolving. It's crazy.
That? Do you like that? I feel like it's too fast. Like a song is like a meme now to me. It's like
no. So here's what's different about the K-pop industry. They theme every single comeback, quote unquote. It's all so conceptually different and well thought out and done that every single song has a different concept. It has like a different vibe, outfits, you know, that they'll probably, you know, beat it like a dead horse basically for like a month, and then they'll come out with a new song. So
songs will last. We'll live for a summer.
God. I can't tell you how many. We just reacted to 3 new songs, and they're songs that I will probably listen to for the next 2 or 3 months. But a brand new one from Taemin just dropped yesterday. There's a new one from Kai dropping tomorrow. Like it's definitely, it comes fast. And if you don't like it, just don't listen to it again. But that's why it's so addicting, because there's something for everyone. And there's so many groups that are giving you content. And again, it's like they're making gajillions of dollars doing this. Like it's not even affecting like how fast it is. Cause right, you know, they say like, oh, music is oversaturated now, blah, blah, blah. They have perfected the way to actually
a cycle to keep it.
And the way to make music.
And that's one of the, I can't even talk. That was one of the great things about radio is it kind of regulated the cycle of music. Like everyone had to move at radio's pace kind of.
But you know what sucks about that? You can still see it happening today. So Blackpink dropped a song with Cardi B. They have since pushed that, and they're not going to take it to radio anymore because Billie Eilish decided that she wanted to drop a song. So now Interscope is focusing on Billie, and they're not going to push Blackpink and Cardi. So that is a problem that we have in the US industry. Labels will completely trash one group because of the popularity of another. Not to say that Billie doesn't deserve it.
Or just put it off to the side, right?
We'll put it off to the, but that means, you know, of course they're going to put it off to the side. It's out already.
Oh, see, that's a problem.
But at the end of the day, it's still, you know, you're putting a Billie Eilish record, which again, I stand Billie. Like, please play some Billie Eilish. Fuck it. I fucking love her. You know, they're going to play her for something they know is going to get those ratings. And then they're going to put off a newer group who might eventually actually outshine Billie, but no one's going to give them that chance.
Yet for them to know.
Right. It's not tested for them. And now it's not going to be tested.
Wow.
So they already said, well, fuck that. And then we're going to move over here. So
okay, so give me your top 5 artists right now, and it could be K-pop, it could be regular, any artist, top 5.
Oh my god, I don't know. It's hard for me to say because I have like
They don't have to be in an order.
I know. I mean, I will say Billie Eilish for sure.
Okay.
God, it's hard for me because I'm always going to put Paramore / Hayley Williams at the top of my list.
That's fine.
I know, but it's like you know, she hasn't. You know, Petals for Armor came out, I think, last year. But I just think Hayley is one of the best voices of our time, and she does not get enough shine. I think she's fucking epic. It's going to be hard because they definitely will, probably a lot of them be K-pop. I would say BTS is definitely on that list as well. Okay. But just the global impact that they've had, you can't ignore them. Okay. You can't say no to them. I would say Kendrick Lamar. Okay. Is also in that, like, we were doing like an all-time list.
We need some new music from him.
We do. I mean, it's coming. Yeah. Yeah. It's coming Cole. Like February. Yeah. I don't know about Cole, but I know that Kendrick's about to drop something. People were saying fourth quarter, but now people are saying first quarter. No, I think it's February 2021. I have my sources. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Well, I'll ask no questions.
But God, who would be number 5? It's like, I would want to say Stray Kids, but they're like newer for me. Like they're like really new to the fact it's, you know, I don't really stan them yet. I'm almost there, but
stan them.
I would put like Stray Kids, Twice, and Blackpink and ITZY. Those are all K-pop groups, all in like the same.
I'm about to search all of these, by the way, because you're like speaking Korean, literally like speaking Korean to me. Like,
no, you actually really should. They're great artists. I'm going to tell you that right now. I have a playlist if you want it.
Yeah, you're gonna have to send that over.
And then probably if we were going all time as well, it might be someone like Fall Out Boy or something like that. But just because they had such an impact on my music tastes as a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they like kind of shaped it as time went on. But like I'm a huge fan of like Avenged Sevenfold, Rage Against the Machine. Like my brother got me into all those. He would listen to Tool a lot, but I've never really caught on to the Tool wave. I don't know. That'd be really hard. Yeah. That'd be really hard for me.
I mean, you gave us 5 already.
Khalid.
So. Oh, he's dope.
Khalid.
Underrated for sure. He's dope.
Oh my God.
But the thing is, he's one of those artists, you know, I look at him like he's one of those artists that have Billboard top hits, but I don't think have a strong enough core to be able to tour and sell out shows.
He has. They're just smaller venues.
Right.
Because I've seen him live.
But when I think of people like, for example, you know, like Jason Derulo has had top Billboard hits, smashes, weeks on weeks, months, but he doesn't have a strong enough core to be able to tour. But then you have artists that have never had a top 10, but have a huge core that can tour. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Because, excuse me, I would also say like Miguel. Oh, yeah. Miguel for me is a top artist. But Khalid is like very, like his last album is insane. And I still listen to it all the way through. I know every single song. And he's one of the only artists I've ever put on an album, listened all the way through, loved it immediately, and have played ever since.
Wow.
Like Khalid is one of the only artists I've ever done that for. And I will be a fan of him forever. Like I'm a fan of him as a human being as well, which is why I stan Billie Eilish the way that I do. Like I know that she's much younger than me, you know, like almost 10 years younger than me, but still like she is the most epic human being. She was raised right.
How old is she?
18.
Wow.
Yeah.
She is. Damn. Why didn't I think she was older than that? She is. Wow. For someone who's so young, she's someone like I would consider like a trendsetter.
Oh,
like
for sure.
Style. Like who that young, you know, is an American trendsetter like that. That young.
No, yeah, you know? Nobody. I mean, Justin Bieber probably the last one.
Nobody, but Bieber wasn't even a trend. Like Bieber wasn't. When you looked at Bieber, you didn't think art. You just thought of like a cute kid who has good music. But you look at this girl, she looks like art. She looks like her style from everything about her is unique. You know
I was her for Halloween last year, and I actually like spent a shit ton of money on that because I was like, if I'm gonna do Billie, I'm gonna do it the right way, and I want it to look high end and like just the way that she is. But that's what she inspires me. She inspires me to be exactly who the fuck I am. Which honestly, last year I was struggling with a lot. When I first came here, because again, it was like the 4th or 5th time I've moved in my life, and I was like, what am I doing? And she really helped me. Like, you know, if something is unconventional, that doesn't mean it's stupid, or it doesn't mean it's like, you know, not right for you or something. If anything, it might make you more of who you are, and that's what's going to make you dope. And so she was the person who, honestly, if I wouldn't have discovered Billie and fallen in love with her the way that I had, I probably wouldn't have been open-minded enough to really hop into K-pop either. So I would benefit her, you know, with that as well.
That's dope.
Yeah. So I think her fan base are amazing people. And usually I'll fall in love with an artist if I like their fan base as well, because that mirrors like who they are.
Right.
Which is one of the reasons why I love, you know, BTS and the BTS army so much, because they're all amazing people. They've been nothing but a support system to me, you know, which is insane. But Billie's fans are the same way. So, and Khalid's too.
How do you go about filming the reaction videos though? You literally just set up a camera, you with your homegirl, and you play the song and you just critique it, or you give your opinions of it right after?
Yeah, I mean, it's for us, we just chime in whenever we feel like it. But I mean, like I film on my iPhone and that's it. That's the only camera that we actually use. And
that's all you need, really.
I know, it really is.
4K now.
No, for real. So I use that, and then we watch it on my laptop and then like screen record it as we're watching it, and then film us as well. And so then at the end of all of it, you know, we have the audio separately, the camera separately, and then, you know, the screen record separately, and I edit them all together in iMovie, and it tends to turn out pretty well.
I was going to say, during your radio tenure, did you like learn Audition and learn how to do commercials and any editing, any producing?
Yes, I can use Audition, obviously, like Next Gen and everything like that, Box Pro, like all the, you know, in studio editing software I can use pretty well. But I don't know, I don't like using Adobe interfaces. I think they make them very complicated for no reason. Like, that's why I choose to edit on iMovie.
Gotcha.
I think that it just makes things a little bit cleaner.
Gotcha.
I think you need a whole degree to figure out how to, like, you know, do some of the other Adobe stuff. Audition is fine, but again, it's like I would rather use Vox Pro than Adobe.
Something that's more simplified.
Yeah, more
Vox
simplified.
Pro. I used to be, like I said, the Vox Pro Olympics. I used to be crazy.
But again, I'm not into tech. So I feel like people who are more into tech are going to love shit like that. And that's dope. But like for me, it's like I'm actually about the creative, you know, like final product person. You know, like how can I make this the best that I can without having to, you know, go too far in depth and trying to learn how to, you know, do you remember MySpace?
Of course.
You had to create a whole page by HTML coding. Like we all knew how to code
and
for
MySpace,
some random reason.
MySpace put pressure on you. You had to select your top 8 friends and display them publicly. Like what type of social media?
It was really,
It was beef. Like I'm a little older than you. I'm a couple years older than you. So like it was like back then it was like if you were missing a friend on that top 8, like there was hostility.
Oh, I know. I was in middle school. So like it was worse for us because we were all like, oh my God, like what the fuck? You know, like we were all just like really stupid little bitches, honestly. Middle school sucked. But no, I think that like, for me, I can use all the software, but I would rather use like just iMovie or Vox Pro. But I mean, the videos still look great. That's what's great about iMovie is they've actually made it so good. And while it is simpler, like it actually looks professionally done. Somebody like the other day was like, oh my God, how do you edit that on iMovie? It looks so good. And I was like, you know, you figure it out. There are other things you can use to make it look 10 times better.
It doesn't matter what you choose to edit with. Right. It's about what you put in.
But again, a lot of people are snobby. They think that like you have to use a specific kind of editing software to get it to look perfect. Like I edit a lot of my pictures on apps on my phone and everybody else is using like, what is it? Photoshop and shit like that. I still can't. I've even looked up YouTube tutorials on how to do Photoshop and I still can't do it.
Wow.
I edit my stuff on Canva, Lightroom, After Effects, like things like that in my phone. Like that's like.
But those are Adobe things, right?
No.
After Effects is Adobe, isn't it?
It's an app. Sorry, there's also an app.
Okay.
There's also Airbrush. I use that too.
So how many? Okay, I might have to look into that one. How many?
It's really good.
How many? I don't trust any pictures anymore online, especially if you look at girls. I don't trust any picture against a solid color wall. Because I know women are editing their hips. They're reshaping their hips. I mean, their waist. They're making their hips wider. The angles. Like it's nasty out here. I can't trust pictures, fellas.
Yeah. I will say I edit, like I'll smooth my face out a little bit, but that's because I've dealt with acne over the past like couple of years.
But when you do it, it's the people that don't realize that they're excessive with it. You got to be subtle.
Ooh, you know what I mean? I'll show you. Okay, you tell me if I do a good editing job. Hold on.
I feel like if you don't realize it, then it's good, right? Like I feel like if you that's how you know you did a good job. If it's subtle, you don't realize it.
I showed somebody this picture though before and after, and they were like, "I liked it better before," and I was like, "What?"
Damn.
Hold on. So it was so this one's unedited. This is the one I just posted, and then hold on, I'll show you the one that's edited.
Wait, let me look at the lines. Okay.
Okay. So there's that, and then edited.
Yeah, I don't notice.
But see,
it's fine. I feel like if you would have took like your cheek line right here and it was smooth and it was like Botox, then I'd be like, fam, you were on this a little too much.
No, and you know what's funny is like I know that's why I leave it in.
Exactly.
Like that's because that's literally my face. Like
Like you it's
because I can edit that out if I wanted to, but I don't.
Not even that it's an imperfection, but it's like people have to learn to like embrace like your imperfections.
Yeah.
Like they see Kim Kardashian, but that's millions of dollars worth of surgery. Like, and you're comparing yourself.
But that's what we think that men want now. Because all men are going to look at Kim K and be like, damn. Or like Kylie Jenner and say the same thing.
I disagree.
I get you. But I'm just saying like they're definitely.
The men that you want don't think that. The men that you don't want think that. Yeah. If that makes sense.
Yeah. I could see that.
Because men who want something real, they want something real. See, you can't, everything about you physically can't be fake. And then you can't expect people to think that your personality is real.
I get what you're saying. I mean, I think, okay, we hope that that's true.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that's, I would hope that is true. I can't say for certain because again, it's like, I don't know. Like I don't have to do much editing on my pictures. So I've never had to like be the kind of person to walk out and like know that like my pictures aren't what I look like. I mean, I would always hope that. I've always wondered, like, do I actually look like my pictures? I still don't really know.
Right.
I hope I do, but you know, like it's not that much. So I can't imagine how somebody would feel if they feel the need to like super edit their stuff. Finally, they get somebody's attention and then, you know, have to actually go meet them in person. Like, you know, I feel like that sucks,
I'm
you know?
Catfish. I'm hatfish. I call
You're
myself
a hatfish?
Yeah. It just sucks. Like, it almost feels like, especially the young, it's like women feel like they have to like be Sports Illustrated models and they feel like they have to lead with bathing suit pics all the time and to fit in with that. You know what I mean? It's sad to me. Like,
yeah, I mean, I will say, like, it is kind of interesting coming to Miami and then realizing everybody's just out here naked.
I was gonna say, did you feel that more?
I did no, and okay. So I will say, yes. I mean, it's obviously hotter here, so everybody's wearing less.
Right.
Like, I get that. You know what I mean? I'm not going to sit here and say, oh my God, everybody out here is like naked. You know what I mean? Because like it's hot. Yeah. Like even me wearing this, I'm like, fuck. Like it's hot.
Yeah, you get in the shower and then you're sweating as soon as you go outside. Yeah.
So that's another reason why I miss LA. I cannot wait to wear pants again. Holy fuck, pants and sweaters. Yeah. I'm so excited because then you can actually, like, if you do gain a little bit of weight in the winter, you can hide that. Here, you can't hide that shit unless you want to be like, why are you out in a sweater in like 80-degree weather? Which
is why I tell people because Miami doesn't really have fashion here.
Like, they don't.
New York, LA, you could layer up.
That's crazy. They don't.
You could layer up.
Yeah.
But what I tell people here is the fashion in Miami is your physique.
It is. No, it is.
You know what I mean?
It is because you have to be naked.
Right. Whether you're a female, male, like, so I do like, you know, that's one thing about Miami that's because New York has seasons, LA has seasons for the most part, and you could layer up. That's how you get dope with the fashion and can experiment with different outfits and stuff like that. Yeah.
I miss it. Like I have so many, like I have like a duster jacket that I can't wait to wear. I have like a pea coat that I can't wait to wear. I was about to get rid of some of my sweaters and I was like, no, these are fucking cute. Someday I'm going to wear my sweaters again, you know, like, so I have boots that are super cute, like, you know, buckled silver, like boots.
you, I mean, I don't know if you noticed it when you got here, but like December, January, February here, you could get it off. You could get, you know, like,
it hits
40s here. 50s.
It's not the same. It's not the same because it's like fall fashion is much better than winter fashion. Like what sucks about that is like it gets from like 80 to like 40. Like you have no like 60-degree days or like anything like that where you can kind of like, you know, walk outside and just hang out and chill.
It's crazy
and like whatever.
Because in Miami, I say that like in the winter, we get all the seasons in one day. When you wake up, it's winter.
Yeah.
When you get to you know noon, it's spring.
Right.
When you get to 3 p.m., it's summer, and when you get to like 7 p.m., it's fall.
Right.
That's, you know, what I would say about Miami.
Which again, it's like, it's fine. I would never, like, I hope nobody ever takes it as me like hating on Miami because I don't like, you know, Ayo was the one who told me to live in Brickell because he loved it. He was like, oh my God, it's such a vibe. You gotta, you know, go out and live there. I was there for 3 years. I loved it. And so I was really excited to come here. It's just, you know, obviously things didn't work out the way that any of us thought it would work out, you know. So
back to the pressures of I want to talk about, you know, like you said, like people are more naked here. Did you feel like that pressure in LA though? Like, cause there's influencers in LA, right? It seems like all the women over there even are in bathing suits too. It's like,
it's weird because LA is not like there's a beach. There's a beach there, but for the most part, especially people in the industry, like they're never there. Like they're never at the beach. Like maybe some celebrities who have a pool are going to be hanging out by the pool. Influencers, they're going to try to go to like the Roosevelt and hang out by their pool. But I mean, for the most part, unless you're at like a day party or something like that, like it really is a lot more laid back. Like everybody's just kind of like dressed in whatever, like unless you're going somewhere and trying to look cute. I don't know. I would say like a lot of girls pull off that whole like hanging out, you know, like vibe more than anything. I actually look up to like Arielle Vandenberg for fashion. I think she's epic.
Put me on, educate me. I don't know who that is.
She was a Viner. She's always been like a model and actress, but then she got big on Vine and now she's still on like TikTok, but like
she's in LA.
She's in LA, and she actually ended up like getting engaged to another guy who got big on Vine. Have you ever seen the guy who
Vine love story? That's awesome.
I know, right? Have you ever seen like the emo thing? There's like a Viner / TikToker. His name is Matt Cutchell, and he'll do like, you know, feeling emo today, and he'll wear like the black and the nail polish. He'll like sing like My Chemical Romance somewhere. No. Okay, well that's him. And then Ariel and him got engaged, and they lived together and everything. But she is like literally so cool to me, and she is what I would like whenever I think of like LA style. She's what I think about. I'm going to show you.
Yeah, put me on.
Because it's very
okay. So maybe those assumptions that I have of women just feeling pressured is only a Miami thing to be in a bikini.
Maybe I don't know. Like I don't know what it is.
It just seems like it seems like most women, when I click on their profile, when I click on their IG, it's like just bikini pic after bikini pic after bikini pic, and it's like
I can see that. Well, here's her dressed up, but that's like never.
I mean, that's regular. That's not.
That's when she's the host for Love Island.
Oh, okay.
God, hold on. I don't know. It's just very like, oh my God, I'm hanging out. It's California. Like, I don't know. She's hilarious though. She's like Jim Carrey in woman form. Like literally you need to watch her. I love her.
Wow. Send me her profile so I can follow her.
No, I will. Oh my God.
Yeah, she's chill.
I love her. It's love
important.
Her so
I feel like it's important to have like it's important to have a you know, to dress up and be able to know how to dress up, but it's important to have a cool, bummy, sporty look too. That's part of like, that's half of fashion.
Like my whole life.
Yeah. You know, get it off, like get your, whether it's gym clothes or what.
I don't do heels. I cannot wear heels.
Even when you have to go to like say an award show or something.
I mean, God, if I really feel like I have to, I'll wear them. I'll bring a change of shoes with me.
Got you.
Hate them. I have a very arched foot. They're very painful. And if I don't have to wear them, I will not. So also that's another thing about like Miami. I know women here love wearing heels and like love going to the clubs in heels and all kinds of other stuff. And that's what the men want too. They want their girls in some high heels and like whatever. But it's not me. It's never been me.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that. So that's more, again, like my LA side as well.
Got you.
Yeah. Very sneakers and
sporty
slides and
Yeah. Dope. Brooke Morrison, I appreciate you pulling up. Great conversation.
Yay.
Tell everybody.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. Tell everybody where they can follow you again.
At I am Brooke Morrison on IG and on Air Brooke on Twitter.
Dope. There it is. Bomb.